All right, gang, let's go through the chapter review right here. We're going to do the essentials of things that you need to know for our chapter 1 test. A couple things to remind you of. In this video, we will be going through the starred questions from page 1. I also want you to pay attention to these green boxes right here. If you have any questions about this whole section, you can go to section 1.1 in your notes, and there will be explanations about how to do that. If you look through the worksheet, you'll find those section numbers in different places. So if you want help with these two questions, you go to lesson 1.2. If you want help with these two questions, you can go to lesson 1.3. So use your notes to help you get through these review problems. The first ones that we're going to be doing are going to be from this first section, and I want to go over the different things that you need to remember when you are naming parts of geometry pictures. We get a little technical and picky about stuff, so you want to pay attention. Remember that when you are doing a line or a segment answer, you should generally be using 2 points. If you are naming a ray, you want to, you're going to use 2 points, but remember it has to start and then stop, or the first letter has to be your starting number, and remember you put the ray mark above it. The start number, the start letter goes first. When you're naming a plane, you need to use 3 letters. And when you're just naming a point, you only need to use 1 letter. There's no picture, no nothing. You just put the letter down, and that's all that you have to do. So for example, question number 1, it asks you to give 2 other names for line AC. You go to your picture, you find A and you find C. So I need another way to name that line. And really the safest way might be to use the points that are on there, the A and the B and the C, and you can do those in any order, 3 different ways. Don't forget there is the little shortcut that you can name that line K, but when you do that you would have to use the word line. Or you could mix up your letters, CA, AB, choose any 2 points on that line. Then don't forget that you have the plane, the whole plane right here. And you have the intersection of the plane right there. That's where this line goes through. So part of the line is above, and then part of it is below, and then in between there you have the part that's behind it. So those are just a few reminders. Now I'm going to go down and look at question 14 and 15 here, so give me a sec. We're going to pause your video. You work on some of those, and then we will catch up here on questions 14 and 15. All right, we're going to unpause right now, and let's look at question 14. They ask us to look closely at the diagram and use the idea of congruence to solve for x. Find the length of the segment. So in both of these sections here, we're going to be looking in our notes 1.2 and 1.3. A couple things that I want you to pay attention to. On the first questions, notice that they put the tick marks on there, and that means that those segments will be equal to each other. When you get down to the bottom questions, they actually use the word midpoint, and that means that that is in the middle and the 2 sections are equal. So these are all the same question, given to you 2 different ways. Remembering, when these parts are equal, all you have to do is write the 2 parts and then put an equal mark in the middle. Remember, when you're solving, generally we move the small x to the other side. So I'm going to minus 2x. These guys make 0. These guys right here, 3 take away 2 is 1x. Bring down the minus 2. Bring down the plus 3. Then we add 2 to both sides. And we get x equals 2. And then don't forget, they always ask us to find missing parts. And so we have to go back to our picture and we have to find the C point and the D point. And we find out that our 2 is going to fall into that spot right there. So we're going to go 2 times 2 plus 3. And 4 plus 3 is going to give you 12. So CD is equal to 12. So there are 2 parts to these questions where you find out what x is and then sometimes have to find an extra answer. If you have questions with those, look in sections 1.2 and 1.3. Otherwise, I'm going to have you pause right now, work on these problems, and then if you want help with page 2, you can check out the next video.